What are we listening to today? Hello. Hi, Lorenzo. Hi, Anna. Hello, Chibi. What? This one. Oh. How are you doing? Hello, good morning. Let me put on some music. Like this. There we go. This is a good vibes, good vibes. Somewhere she's gone, and always gone too long. Anytime she goes away, doom, ching, doom, ching, doom. And the rest time where she's gone. Is the microphone bad? Hi Sandro, hi Jampo, hello, good morning. How are you doing? Hi Jiga, hello. Free love, Han, got you. Han. It's in the queue. Good morning, Jake. Big mode, I gotcha. I know. Hey, I'll leave the young thing alone. A little sunshine when she's gone. Little sunshine when... By the way, hello, good morning, people. How are y'all doing? For the happiness of the people that are helping me out to do the podcast, I did record a podcast today. I don't know if it's good. I have no idea if it's okay. I didn't do the outro. No, did I? No, I did it. I did it. Shit. Poor them. I'm so sorry for them. They're trying so hard to make me do stuff. Where even is the VOD? Or what day is today? Today is the 17th. Where is it? Oh. You piece of shit. You piece of shit. You piece of shit, Kami. How did you find out? How did you find out? How did you find it out? How did you find that out, Kami? Kami, how did you... Kami! You're a smart person. Did I post a story? Was it like on my video, so now you found it? And now you know? Wait, let me see. Was it on my video? From the Rio? Shut up! Fuck! I'm stupid! No, Peter, don't leave. No, sorry, I didn't mean to scream. This is Kami's fault. What's up with my eyes? This morning I already cried enough, I guess. I'm definitely the secretary. Shit. I need... Okay, listen. I cannot bear with the light this morning, so let me put on these ones. Yes. Nice glasses. Hi, Hidden. Hello. Good morning, by the way, people. How are you doing? How is it going? Did you do the check-in? AG story up? No, nothing is up yet. Wait, okay, so this one is closed. We have that one. And cool glasses. You're right. Oh my god. I'm up all night to get fun. Oh, chat, did you see the video with Prime? It's going great. It's going hugely well. I appreciate you for that. I really, really do. I really, really do. That video is going very well. If you have anyone else that you think that I should contact, just let me know, alright? You know, to have the call. Wait, let me do the... Okay. Nice. I have the picture. You're lucky. Tonight, tonight, lucky. Tonight, tonight, lucky. Okay, I'm making the tweet and then I'm there. But wait, I will soon. I will soon put out the video about the gym one, because like I think that now the editor just sent me the final version of it. So I guess like in this weekend I can give it to you. I can give it to you on YouTube. So go on YouTube, follow, subscribe, and all of that. Wait, let me remove that one so no more pera. That is where I was recording the podcast, by the way. Almost done. My god, I'm so fast now doing these things. I'm getting speedy. You are in class? Oh, okay. Today is Thursday. Oh, chat, I was thinking for tomorrow. What if we did... the camera is wrong. What if tomorrow we went through... What was the game? The second of Inside. What's the name of it? What is it? Inside number 2. Do you remember? Someone suggested that one. Tomorrow we can try to play that one all at once. What do you think? Blob Story? No, it's not Blob Story. Hi, Rising. Hello. Good morning. What's the name of it? You don't remember? Was it like Stowy stuff? What? It was out on the 15th. It came out on the 15th. So maybe we can play that one. If that's alright for you. No internet connection. There's an issue with my Wi-Fi, OG. I don't really know. Okay. Julia! Julia, thank you so much for the 4 months. Beautiful name as always. I appreciate you so much for that. Thank you so much for it. Can I have some love for Julie? Wait. I did not fix the goal. People, yesterday it was freaking insane. One more. Boom. Okay. Okay. So Julie, this is 20. The bar is 29 because of you. Thank you for that. TV study TME. Done. Oh, I didn't put... Oh, I fucked it up. Okay, wait, I have to do this. I have to pay attention to this thing. Alright, this one is done. And then I need to add the sticker and then we're done. Chad, yesterday I went to the gym. Yesterday I finally went back to the gym. It was okay. There were so many things that I needed to do at the gym, but so many things were already in use by someone else, so that was a little bit of a pain. But it was, people, if you are from Verona, please come with us. Yesterday after the gym we also went to have some sushi that I haven't had since ages. Oh, there's like 2 gyms, right, in my hometown. I can go to both with the same subscription. And there's one that I prefer because it's easier it's easier to go to like park there, you know. I'm gonna join just for the sushi. But the other one is like a little bit more harder to park, and it's a little bit smaller maybe. But I went to that one yesterday. Still can't believe they built that place next to my gym. Yeah, I know. They're not new glasses. They're really old. Like, not old, but... A big commitment? No, don't worry. Any Sicilian in chat? I wonder. Thank you for appreciating my glasses. It's time again. Yes, comic it is. Yes, it is. So if anyone... Wait, why, Chibi, why can you not eat rice? Like, you don't like it, or you're allergic, or what? What is it? They make me look like old. Listen, okay? It's too early in the morning for me to slap you in the face, okay? You cannot say that I look old, all right? What happened? We're on Twitch until now. Do you know when Twitch comes out? What? Intolerant to rice, tomato, pork, and white fish. What the fuck? You're the very first person that I hear about it. You're the very first I hear about it. For real? Do you want to fight? No, you're kind of bigger than me. I don't want to fight you. What are the new features that are gonna be added when Twitch fully comes out? When Twitch fully comes out, they will add the feature where there's no problem with the music, no problems with the MCA whatsoever. People are gonna be able to to have their Twitch live ranked on Google. So like when you're looking for something, you have the live on Google. What else? What are the other things that they're gonna add to Twitch? They said it like the other day, right? All right, they are gone. They are gone. Never mind. I was trying to have fun with you, but no. People cannot have fun. People cannot have fun. Hello, my MBTI is Defender. Let me tell you what that is. ISFJ. So I'm supposed to be, according to this one, where does it say? Doesn't it say introvert, observant, feeling, and judging? I tend to be warm and unassuming in their own steady way. They're efficient and responsible, giving careful attention to practical details in the daily lives. That is me. That is me. That is me. ENFP. Oh yeah. Mediator, nice. I've been developing so much. Maybe I should like do it again, because I've been I did it before going to my masters, and then during my master, and then after my master, and all those 3 times I had a different thing. I used to be a leader or something like that. The protagonist I used to be. I used to be a protagonist. Then I just changed to defender. I think for a hard second, I was like an adventurer and I hated it. I hated it so much, and then I went to defender. Code seems not be working. Oh. Every 2 or 3 years. Maybe I can try it again. Maybe one day we can do it again. That I was too much extrovert, but I didn't rely on it. That's why. Who told you you were too extrovert? What is that? Yeah. You're advocate, but it's nonsense. Why is it nonsense for you? Introvert, I see that. Intuitive, I see that. Feeling and judging, I feel that. They tend to approach life with deep thoughtfulness and imagination. Their inner vision, personal values, and quiet, principled version of humanism guide them in all things. Why not? Lafo, I am at the games week 25, 26, and 27, both all of the 3 days. If you don't, okay, listen to me. I know that I say this very often, but I needed to, like, we're getting closer to the T-Day, all right? If you are coming at the Milan Games week, you see me, and you don't say hi to me, and then you send me a message saying, oh, I saw you at the Milan Games week. I'm not gonna be mad because I'm trying to be more centered, but please. Okay. Also because most of the times I will not know who to be, so please help me, entertain me, let's talk about it, alright? I'm gonna be mad. Can we troll you? What do you mean you wanna troll me? What do you mean you wanna troll me? Yes, Mickey, it was temporary. Talking about that, tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow we have a beautiful stream because tomorrow we have playing video games, and while we play that game that still no one told me the name of, still no one told me, we have new tattoos to do. We have new tattoos to do tomorrow. And I'm very excited about that. Very, very excited. Another Friday stream, yes. We're gonna go, like, since on the 25th, 26th, and 27th, I'm not gonna be live. I still wanna... I'm not. It's not cryptic. I'm just saying the one by the same authors of Inside, and it came out on the 17th. Okay, let me work on it by myself. Actually, let me turn on also the live on TikTok. Ah. Svuotami portafoglio. Hello. How are you doing? Wait, I need chapstick. My lips are so dry that I felt them moving. Ross, I'm gonna send them to you. Ross, I'm gonna support you in your studies. The game is called, let me go on my wish list. The game is called, oh my god, where is it? Somerville. Where is the streamer? But I tried to have her here. She left. Old Forest code. Make sure to join the new... Oh, yeah, there's a new code of Forest. No, bro. No. That's what I was joking. Please take care of yourself. Swata, please take care of yourself, okay? You're the most... You know what you... Do you know who you could spoil, Swata? Why don't you spoil your mom? This is not a your mom joke. For real, spoil your mom. Send her gifts. Send her to a spa. Please. For real. Amazingly average. You don't like your mom? Oh, shit. Well, but... I don't know. Or Svuota il portafoglio. You know who else? You can find like a old elderly house and just go there and spoil all the ladies there. All the boys. I don't know. Maybe you're into it, but just spoil them. Do you know how happy that would be? I know that you crave to have the other person happy. They will be so fucking happy. Trust. If you do that, let me know, all right? If you do that, let me know. I'll send you a picture of my feet, okay? Just send me a receipt, or you sending money to elderly houses, and I'll send you pictures of my feet. Is that a deal? Can we all agree on that one? Yeah, chat. For every 100 deal, for every 1,000 euros that you send to an elderly house, or to a center that is studying cancer, send me the receipt and I'll send you a picture of my feet. Is that okay? A chi devo mandare soldi in cambio di una foto? To a center about cancer. To a center about cancer. Or, yeah. Oh, I'm scared that they're gonna... Like, I want them to do it, but at the same time I'm scared of, like, sending a picture of my feet. You know what I mean? That in between. Oh, shit. I was joking, a study stream, but it is... You thought you were trolling? Wait. Juiko, were you trying to be a troll? Wait, hold on. Juiko was trying to be a troll. Oh, no. You were joining... Oh, joining. Fuck, I read very badly. Sorry. No. Yeah, I am a study streamer. Just, just like to have fun, There is a 10% off on Somerville. I think I'm gonna get that one. Good morning, Boston. Hello. Ok, le faccio sapere una foto come quella che dice quanto mi costerà Miss. Oh my god, he's actually being serious, chat. It's actually being serious. Ciao, sono una vecchietta. Mi avevo come 50 euro, scema. Shema! I love your nickname too. Oh goodness. But just... Oh my goodness. Did I do everything? We already... Oh, let's see if there are new people with the 50% badge. With the new badge. Badge. 900 subs, so we all go to Taiwan. Well, this morning I received a message from my friend that is in Taiwan, right? And oh my god, no, I feel the emotion. Fuck. Wait. No. Wait. I generally think that it's coffee giving me emotions. I think that coffee is waking up stuff in me. Anyway. No, not again. No. It's just because of what I'm gonna tell you, So I was having... What's wrong? I don't know, they're leaking. I don't know. Ma lei non servono? Così semmai non disturbo più Miss. No. I need them, but I need them in a cancer research center. I need them there. Anyway, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. I had my friend, that I was telling you that there is this friend of mine that wants to... Oh, spinning the wheel. That he is in Taiwan. He invited me to go to Taiwan. So maybe, just saying. Maybe it's... We don't need the 2K goal. I don't know if I would go to Taiwan in this period. It's always a bad period to go to Taiwan, to be honest, because it's a... I'll link... just DM me. I hope they will not be weird, but DM me, okay? It's what DM me and I'll tell you where to send them. All right? I'll find a good center. I'll find a good center. I'll send you a picture of my feet. Is that... Anyway, 100% chances of weirdness. But if it's for a good cause... can I donate myself to cancer research? Kotpa, you're good. Kotpa, are you okay? You envy my patience to deal with that guy? I don't care. I don't mind. So we might be going to Taiwan closer than what is supposed to be. Maybe, it might be. Anyway, shall we check the badge situation? Shall we check that one? I know that there's people doing like some kind of parties for this badge. So we have Jake, Hidden, Rua, Marco. Wait. Ashkelon went to bed at a decent time? My day is going very well, Hit. Jake, Hidden, Rua, Marco, Kotpa, Martin, Sandro, Meta, Goldrake, Statua, Lorenzo, Angelo, Anna, Euri, Henry, Cesira, Jalford, Michele, Mucci, Sacro, Icofis, Meccanicarlo, Maria Kego, Giampo, Kami? I think Kami hacked the entire thing. He did not. He's just picky on the time he does the check-in. At what time does he want to do a check-in? What do you mean you went to bed? Yeah, you see, like you're all the way here. You didn't do the check-in in the morning. Like about Simpson. Oh, Simpson. Hi, Francesco. Okay, these are the people that are doing like the full-on streak. Cami did something here. Cami, wait, where is it? Cami, what are you doing? You did it at 2 a.m., but it's supposed to be at 1 a.m. If you do it at 1 a.m. now, it's at midnight. Your hard work, I recognize it. That's what I'm wondering. Like I'm saying, okay, chat, can you do me a favor? Okay, I need to do something. I think that. Wait, I need to check. Wait, I need to check on something. That I will never be able to find it back, but I can maybe try very hard to find it. I'm gonna scroll all the way up to this conversation. Good morning, Pico. How are you doing? I need to scroll all the way up through this conversation to find something very, very important. I need to see... Okay. So... I know that Aria needs words of affirmation, so I'm working on that. I'll tell her, oh, you're amazing, you're beautiful, you're so good. Cami needs quality time. All right. Cami, I'll spend more quality time with you, okay? Would you want to have a little chitty chat together one of these days? I hacked the game like I had the cam. Did you make a bot, Cami? Cami, did you make a bot? And job for acts of service. Okay. This is how you know your people. I need quality time, but not from you. Shut up. Shut up. G's love is scarier than G's indifference. Fuck. Maybe. Oh shit, Christian. Good morning. Hi. Oh fuck. Okay. Oh, did you? Ooh. Am I gonna go shopping soon? Meta, we're going shopping. Meta, we're going shopping. Just letting you know. The realization. Oh me. Nice to meet you, Lorenzo. Let's do something good for the world, okay? There is no greater joy, okay? Anyway. Oh, and on the 10th of December, chat, we're doing on the 10th of June. Okay. On the 10th of December, people, we're gonna do charity stream. Just letting you know. It's the not Thanksgiving, but thanks somethings. I don't remember. Yes, we are. Yeah, thanks mass. There we go. The thank mass. I want to do that one. Yeah, for sure. I really feel like there is no better year to do it. Like we've been doing so much, we've been achieving so much that I want to give back a little bit. It's decent, right? Plus, it's gonna go to Ukraine, if I'm not wrong, this year. Shall we start to work the day? Shall we start to do something? Shall we get to do something productive? Non sei British. I'm sorry, Psycho. I'm sorry if you're not British. I'm not British too. De che cazzo sta parlando? After you spin... Oh, I have to spin your wheel. Right. Let's... Oh, we have it here too. Okay, I got scared. We're gonna be doing... Is that marbles or chair stretch? Is that marbles or chair stretch? Where is the... It doesn't say. What do you think it is, chat? What do you think it is? Marbles? Okay, we're gonna be doing marbles in the next break. Alright? Beautiful people, I hope you're ready because we're gonna start to work. Alright? We're gonna start to do something productive for the day. I will be checking on you in 45 minutes. I hope you got yourself water, coffee, whatever you need. Cheers Touch is such a good one. I'll check in with you in 45, okay? Be good, everyone. Bye. Hello. Welcome to the break. How are you doing? How was this very first tomato? Let me tidy up a little bit. It's all my legs. All my legs are hurting. This box is for when Pera will want to stay with us again. Why you cannot do shit today, Shanapa? Then go out. Don't force yourself. Go out. Go out for a little bit. When you come back, you feel better. Editor's IDE? What is IDE? Oh, you got the lunch oat milks. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, you haven't had caffeine? Let's go. Good for you. Yeah, I know, Whoops. I know that VS Code has pet modules. Oh, marbles. Chavo, if you can send it on Discord or Instagram, anywhere else, please don't post it here. Marbles. Let's see if I do have to. Oh, I might have to download it again. I might have uninstalled it. Oh, no, it has to update. It has to update. We might have to play it like next. It's already done, actually. It's already there. We can have a fast marble, right? A super fast marble. If it goes. Closed gym today? Why is it closed today? What happened? Is it like vacation? Yes, I am stretching. I played for 2 hours and 80? Kalpa, you look beautiful today. Is it because you've been productive? What is it? Why are you looking so gorgeous today? What's up? Okay, no. Marble is not loading. I don't know. I think we have to wait. I'm so hungry too now. Ombra, I'm working on other, like, on things with the sponsor I'm fixing, like, stuff for the trivia and all of that. It's your Latin genes? Oh, okay. You are Argentinian? Hello. If only I knew. What did I know? What do you mean, Jake? What's happening? You study a lot, but you're too slow? Man, I was the same. I was always very slow when studying. Chad, do you have tips? Do you have tips or someone that is being slow when studying? Be fast. Shut up, V-Nets. Yeah, we're gonna be playing marbles in the next break because it's still like... Oh, it's working now, but now we have 3 minutes, so later. We're gonna do it in the next one. Come on. Or we do it now in 3 minutes. No, right? We're gonna do it in the next break. For the full 7 minutes. Take enough breaks when studying slowly and just take some time. I think that it's mostly like a matter of like training yourself. A matter of training your brain. Un piccolo italiano. Oh. I think that it's a matter on how... if you worry about how fast you're going, you probably go slower. Fair. By very little task. Oh, how come did I do that, Jake? I'm sorry for you. Sorry, my brain is foggy. I think that it's because I'm hungry right now. But these things... Oh, happy to have you here, Clovecook. I don't know why, chat. Like, I am starving, I guess. That's why. Eat nice vegetables that keep your brain fit. Yes, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna have something to eat for sure. For sure, I'm gonna have something to eat. Remember, your brain is like a engine, right? It needs fuel in it, so you need to just get food. You know what else it might be? Listen, I've been procrastinating. To record the podcast for so long. I did it this morning, as I said. Fucking shit, it did not record. It did not record because I'm stupid. That's my fault. I had like a setting so that when it records, it go to something else that we need for when we go in real life, like when we go IRLA. I might just gonna do it like, I think from the phone phone camera is cool, right? Phone camera is good. So if I do this and I put it in 4K and I put it like this and I should be alright, okay? So I can do it also when we are streaming, right? Even when I'm streaming, I can record it maybe. I just have to find a way. Because like I don't know why, but my phone is not recognizing this one. I don't know why. I don't know what's happening. Like if only I had like the microphone to be recognized, then everything will be nice. Everything will be chill. Okay, ciao. When I'll have time, I'll check it out. Everything will be cool if this one worked. If this one worked the way it's supposed to work, you know? And then I could just do things. It could be so much easy. I also have the other phone, the one that we use for the IRLs. But I don't think that the quality is as good. Show me the red cable. This is the proper one. I'm sure this is the proper one. I'm 100% sure. Oh, but now that I think about it, I don't think that I can record. I don't know. I got you. I'll give you my GoPro from Milan. Fabric, it's fine. No need. With the GoPro, it's a little bit of a mess to stream because I don't know how to connect stuff. You know, I would not know how to do that. So I don't think I know how to do that. So it's... what did I want to do? I want to see if I can check if I can make it work. No, you see, like, it doesn't recognize it. It says, like... It says, please connect a Rode device. This is a Rode device. Maybe this one is not working. If the jack has 2 lines or not is not okay for iPhone, you need the cable with 3 lines on the one connector. Oh, it is made of... I know. This is the... I checked on the internet. When we were doing the... This is it. This has 3 lines. This one has 3 lines.
What do you call a dog that
this
can
one
do
has
magic
2.
Tricks?
I know. I already know. But it doesn't... It just doesn't recognize it. I don't know what's wrong with it. I don't know. Fog brain, we must work. True. Should we get back to work? People, I'll check in with you in 45 minutes. I'm gonna get myself something to eat because I'm starving. Okay, be good, everyone. Hello. I hope that the microphone is working. Yeah, the microphone is working. My mouse and keyboard are not working. I unplugged them, I replugged them, I changed the ports, I unplugged everything. I plugged them to the ports that are working, and then I replugged something else in the same port to see if it was a problem with the port. It is not a problem of the port. Now also this other deck that I have is also not working. I don't know why. And in the meantime, internet is also not working. Like the Wi-Fi is not working because I thought like, oh, I can just work from the iPad in the meantime, right? I'm not sure if it works. Unplug the keyboard cable from the keyboard, then press the same time as caps and spacebar. Connect to the cable. That's not. That's. I don't know what is the problem. I'm getting hacked. Someone is hacking me. I'm starting to think so. So in the meantime, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna spend this time to at least tidy up my cables because my cables are horrible. So I'm just gonna use this thing that I bought to put all my cables in order. This freaking fucking thing cannot hold a simple cable. Only small ones, only very small ones. So that doesn't work. So I was trying to get a new one so at least I could get out of my anger, you know? But say less. If you're still in chat, fucking hell, thank you for the 57, man. I'm so sorry that I couldn't tell you thank you and all of that, but I don't know what to do. I really don't know what to do. So say less. If you've seen this, thank you so fucking much. That's so fucking much. Wait, hold on. We're back at 1,100? Reboot? Yeah, I would have to reboot the entire computer. But the point is, how do I reboot it without losing everything? Do I have anything that it needs to be saved? No, there is nothing that needs to be saved. Thank God. Should I restart you, chat? My hands is on the... But the stupidest thing is like, all the things are plugged in the same thing, so I don't know what it is. I don't know what's going on. What if you don't come back? Chat, if I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make everything work. True, what if it... Wait, hold on. What if it doesn't work again? What if I restart and nothing starts to work again? What if I restart and it still doesn't work? No, we also had like we got 60 fucking subs today. I feel so fucking bad, chat. I feel so bad. I would feel so fucking bad. Use the phone, Irla. No. If it's Windows that restart, will fix everything because micro. Oh, you think so? I will try not. Yes, I want a hug. Before going into the darkness, can I have a hug, please? Thank you for the advance. Appreciate you. Prueba tiene que funcionar. I tried to plug in a different mouse also. So I'll try my best, okay? I'll try my best to be back here. Please be here. Don't leave me. It's gonna be cold out there. It's gonna be very cold out there. No, not this thing. Okay, I'll try, alright? I'll see you on the other side. I'll see you on the other side. Shall we start a count? Start counting. Start counting in chat, alright? I want to see how long it can take. I'm gonna cry so hard. Okay, I'll be right back. Bye.